In our game, you can starve or you can suffocate. Heck of a choice, courtesy of the Chartreuse Leprechaun, of course. Well, you can dehydrate, but that's not important right now. The point is, these things happen when you forget to bring food, or when you store all your oxygen instead of carrying it, and it's always the leprechaun's fault. I don't care if I did push that button. It's still the leprechaun's fault. So, let's review. What happens when you wander off to the far corner of the map in a sandstorm and don't prepare? You die. And you lose lots of cool stuff. And do I have to say it? That it's always the leprechaun's fault? Ever have one of those days? You know, you build something only to discover you messed it up, so you build it again. And lather, rinse, repeat. Well, we all know it was the leprechaun, though. Right? Oh, but then you find something really cool. Like classic muscle car cool. Like amazing Italian food cool. Only to go back and forth and back and forth, hoping to enjoy it. Yeah, that's the leprechaun too. We have returned. Oh, no, not there. Here. The Cave of Wonder. And to storms. And wrecks. And needing to build stuff to, satisfy our corporate overlords, who enlisted some help, who doesn't care what goes wrong, and in fact, engineers most of it. Have I mentioned how much I hate the leprechaun lately? You've heard the phrase, not all who wander are lost? Yeah, except us. We're definitely lost. It's why we keep dying. And losing stuff, too. And of course, it's the leprechaun's fault. It's always the leprechaun's fault. No food on hand? It's his fault. No water on hand? Of course it's his fault. Out of air? Guess what? Yep, his fault. Good thing we're off the hook for all that, right? In the beginning was darkness, because things didn't turn on like they were supposed to. Of course the leprechaun did it. You really had to ask that question? I pushed the right button. At least, I think I did. And even if I didn't, it's still his fault. And on top of that, he tried to keep us distracted, just so we wouldn't find cool stuff, like a new small area, and a pulsar quartz crystal we missed. But hey, we didn't die this time. Yeah, the leprechaun's not happy about that, but we sure are. The leprechaun, the laughing, scheming, double-crossing leprechaun. If we aren't dying, because he's got us totally distracted. Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Leprechaun. You're so sweet and wonderful, and we're getting nowhere because we can't gather enough of the right stuff. Mr. Leprechaun, you have ticked me off to no end once again. And then there's all the lost materials and stuff. There are days the leprechaun just makes my blood boil. And then there are days I am simply in awe of how he gets things done. But today? Every bunker should have its own bunker, a place to relax and put your feet up. But sometimes bunkers are lonely, completely submerged, isolated, abandoned. They should also have lights and power, but what can you do, right? And of course, that's usually the work of the Chartreuse Leprechaun. Quick success and happiness? Not on his watch. He doesn't care how many flooded caves you go through. He doesn't care how much swimming around you have to do. The Chartreuse Leprechaun wants to enjoy seeing you work for it. He wants to see how close to death he can make you go while he sits at the bar, sipping his whiskey, laughing, always laughing. Did you ever notice that once one strange thing happens, there's a cascade of them? Side note, you should blame the leprechaun for those, right? See if we can put this up here. When you can't get buildings to build correctly. Aw, you're kidding me. It's not going to lock in? It's not. Aw, man. What? And then... Wait. What did I just do? You can't go through openings. What did I just run into? And suddenly the whole world starts coming apart. Oh, there's a little bit of a graphics issue. It's all totally his doing. Absolutely, totally his doing. And he's really proud of that, too.